Hello, ladies. Yes, I see that you can see me, I can see you. So everybody is happy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let me know who is here with me. This is Maggie, your fearless marketing coach. Um, and I see that Julia is here. Hello. And Kim is here. Hello. Great to have you around, ladies. The topic for today, I have actually, I think that you have noticed that I changed the topic. We were supposed to be discussing the call to action, the selling topic, but since the circumstances are changing, I decided to come with a topic how to deal with negative emotions and how to respond to the negative emotions, as many of my friends, colleagues, family members, and clients ask me, what can you do with that? And I see that lots of you are hopping online, so I'm happy that you are here with me. I'm going to share with you three approaches. These are not really techniques. You need to master that so it becomes a technique, but three approaches that you can use when something happens to you. And I wanted to start really. I have here plenty of my notes as I was trying to put my thoughts also in order to discuss with you. Hello, Anastasia. Good to hear have you with us. So I have my notes here. In general, the negative emotions, what are they? These are the unwanted emotions. The emotions like fear, like guilt, like jealousy, like doubt, like worry, like blame, hatred, judgment. So these are all the ugly emotions. And what we hear usually, ladies, women, from our families when we are brought to the world is that we shouldn't even show our emotions. We should suppress them, right? If you are suppressing emotions, nothing really good is coming out of that. So I will not be recommending suppressing any emotions. I will show you what to do. What can you do really about them? And the other thing that we are taught is that we should avoid feeling them. So instead of suppressing, we just don't pretend. We just pretend they are not there. And you cannot do it. I mean, you can try, but they will be there. They will be sitting on your shoulders. They will be sitting in your stomach. They will be, eating your throat. I mean, emotions are really nasty bastards sometimes, especially when you don't do anything about them. So, first of all, the good news is you can address them and you should address them. If they are not addressed, they will be transforming into the heavy energy that actually, how shall I put it? Well, you know that majority of diseases is created by stress, simple stress. Like 80% of diseases is created by stress. So think about it. If you only learn how to address your emotions, the negative ones, you have a chance really to address also and to manage your health and your well-being. How awesome is that? And really, the success is, in this case, it is an inner work. This is everything about the mindset and the mindset, harnessing your mindset. Why? Because every emotion is the result of a thought or the series of thoughts that you are, having in your mind. And scientifically, I have learned that we women, and as sorry, I wanted to say human beings, but women especially, we are thinking something like between 15 to 20,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of these thoughts are repetitive thoughts. Think about it. So if we are in fear, if we are in anger, if we are in hatred, then we have a tendency to spiral down ourselves, to put ourselves, to sit in this emotion. While there is a really relatively easy way to get out of that. And I will share with you today three ways to address it. So I wanted to say that, first of all, success is the inner work, and the success lies in practice. The techniques or the approaches that I'm going to share with you, they require, it is a skill, so they require repetition. You might receive the release when you start doing that immediately, but the more you will be practicing and the more skilled you become, the faster the transition will be happening. So we have this. And one thing that I wanted also to put your attention to, the techniques that I'm going to share with you work regardless you are applying it in the business situation or in your life situation. Okay, so they are universal, if you like. Now you have this wanted and unwanted emotions, which, if you focus on the wanted ones, they make you feel better. If you focus on the unwanted ones, they make you feel worse. And really the focal point here, the core point, is to understand when you are feeling, how you are feeling actually, how you are feeling. So what we will be doing during this whole masterclass, we will be paying attention on how you feel. And the intention is to transform your current feeling into the better feeling. Okay, so the first technique is hooked in the concept. It's rooted in the concept that the universe is always moving forward. The universe is always expanding. So there is no way back, in a way. You are developing, you want it or not, but from the moment that you have been born, you are developing all the time. And you can develop faster if, for instance, you learn how to harness your thoughts, which are creating the emotions, and then the emotions are creating the behaviors, right? So what happens is, if you are familiar to the idea of the higher self, your higher self, this is the version of you that not only wants you to succeed, but knows exactly the steps and the way you should be taking to get there as fast as possible and as painless as possible. Okay. So what happens is that, for instance, in the business, when you are in the growth situation, when you dream about the expansion or you dream about the new experience, for instance, you want to go global or you want to start servicing particular clients, then obviously your higher self just jumps immediately there, and she's already there. She's doing that. She's planning everything. She's happy there. She's enthusiastic, but you are where you are. You are in this reality. So the discomfort happens when there is misalignment between your current version and the higher you version. And how to close this gap really is to, for instance, if the fear happens, or if the worry happens, like, well, Maybe this course that I'm working on will not work on my clients, or maybe I will not be able to sell it, or maybe people will not understand what I'm talking about, or maybe the stuff that I'm sharing with them is weird all of a sudden, or too weird, or too woo. These are all kinds of worries that are, going through our mind. And what you can do, you can actually stop all these thoughts. How to do it? The first step is really to be aware of what is happening, to hear these thoughts, to understand and to acknowledge that they are happening, that this is completely normal, that this is your lower self or your ego trying to stop you. But first of all, be happy that your guidance system, your emotional system, is your guidance system, really. It tells you when you are misaligned with the bigger plan, which universe prepared for you. And you have to keep up with the speed of your higher self version. So first of all, step number one is we are being aware. Okay, this is happening. So first of all, thank you, universe. It seems that I am growing. My higher self is already there. My higher self might not be in the exact same emotional state where I am. And it means that I have to align myself over there. How I can do it? I can do it by finding the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance is really finding the thought which makes you feeling better. Because when you are in negative emotions, in heavy, energetically heavy emotions, like fear, like jealousy, like hatred, like worry, you cannot physically make a jump to feeling happy and feeling joyful and feeling love all of a sudden. You cannot, because physically it's not possible. But what you can do is to find the next best feeling thought. So it is what I will show you in a minute. It is the art of finding the little nuggets of positivity in every negative situation and every negative emotion which is happening. And I would like to use the example of Laura, if I may. We have learned after weekend that Laura unfortunately broke her foot during weekend. She was walking the dog. There was some kind of a training obstacle, I think, training with her dog, and she broke her foot. So it's a huge blessing actually in this situation. But the first thought that Laura probably was thinking is, shit, I broke my foot. So what now? I probably had plans for the weekend and for this afternoon. I don't know how long will it take me to recover, and I have all of these things that I wanted to be doing. I'm not sure about my finances, maybe. Because I will not be able to serve at least my dog clients. So what can I do? And if she starts to worry about this situation, the worry is a negative emotion, and the worry doesn't help her to create the positive outcome of that. But to be honest, quite similar thing happened to me 3 weeks ago, I think, when I didn't break my foot, but I fell off the exactly 2 stairs. So I stepped on my foot in such a way that my ankle was injured, and it was exactly similar thing. It is called divine intervention, when basically the universe is stopping you uh, because you were supposed to be doing something else. You were supposed to be concentrating on your mindset, on your strategic movements, on some uncomfortable actions, and you were not doing that. So Laura might think, all right, so I'm immobilized at the moment. What is the blessing in that situation? Maybe I will have time to prepare my online course for for my dog clients and start working with them via online, because my other business is 100% online. So I'm happy that I will not lose any income during that time. I am happy that I didn't break my knee or even my hip. So anything really um, more dangerous didn't happen to me. I didn't injure my head during this fall down. All in all, I'm quite happy. I could see how my friends and family react in this situation. So I know that I can react, I can count on this particular people. Do you see where I'm going? Does it make sense? In every situation which is negative at the first sight, and it looks like adversity that universe throws on you, you can find the positive things. In the practice really is about finding these positive things by thinking the positive thoughts. So if you are down, if you are scared, for instance, in the COVID situation, actually, to share with you, I wasn't scared about COVID until yesterday at all. I didn't have any scary thoughts, only the positive, because COVID was a blessing to me. However, yesterday during our breakfast, my husband shared with me a news that he heard in the radio, that our government in Poland is creating the field hospital in one of the stadiums in the capital city. And that news for me was a scary one. I caught myself thinking, oh shit, this is serious. Many people, it means that many people will be there isolated. So it looks like they are preparing for something like a war. But immediately, since I'm already trained in, in this thought transition, I started to think, but we are living outside of the city. We are living in the forest. We are taking really good care about ourselves. For now, there is nothing to worry. Today, there is nothing to worry about that. And immediately I started to think, slightly better. My whole family is healthy. We have great conditions to live during COVID. So try to find this better feeling thought, and this thought will lift your emotions on a slightly better feeling state. And this is what you want, because we really create our reality from high vibration, not from the low vibration. So if you are low, you cannot create anything. You will be only attracting the negative, more of the negative things, more of the negative emotions. So your job is really to uplift yourself as soon as possible. So my practice number one is really the path of least resistance. Train yourself in finding the better feeling thoughts. It takes a skill, it takes a practice. So it is a skill, but you can learn it, practice it every day. If anything negative happens to you, always you can find, what is the blessing, or what is my lesson here? And you can always choose how you respond to this situation. You cannot impact, or you cannot influence how other people react or how they respond to the situation, because you don't have that power. But you always can manage how you respond to it. And it will lift you up in your path of least resistance. This is really conscious creating your thoughts. And remember that thoughts are responsible for emotions, and then emotions for the behavior. Now, practice number 2. Some of the emotions are really deeply embedded in us, because they are the product of the past generations. This is especially true for emotions like grief, like fear, like worry, like guilt, and like blame. Five major emotions. They are they are embedded by the past generations into our DNA. So we just feel them subconsciously. And sometimes my clients, for instance, they come to me and they say, I don't know why I have this feeling of guilt in me. I didn't do anything that would evoke this feeling of guilt, but still I feel like I'm dragging this with me through all my life. So what we do, we start the session of which is called timeline therapy. It is usually the session that takes 90 minutes, sometimes even 2 hours, where we travel with the client through her timeline into the first event of this particular emotion happening in her life, or in the life of her family members. Because sometimes this is your grandmother who experienced something in her past and transferred it through her motherhood. It happens in the womb, actually. This is called the womb trauma. And then your mother passed it to you. And during one session, you can clear it for good. How awesome is that? Sometimes I do for my clients the session which is called Big Five, and we manage to clear during something like 2 hours all 5 biggest emotions, and they are fear, grief, anger, guilt, blame, and shame. So this is really here. If you are aware about kind of emotion that you are dragging with yourself all your life, and the previous technique doesn't work, and you have the feeling like this is something which is sitting in you from the past generations, then reach out for help. Look for the coach who is specialized, who is certified in timeline therapy. And this is really one-time session to clear this feeling. But you have to address it. If you don't address it, if you don't clear it, it will stay with you for the rest of your life. So this is solution number 2. And solution number 3, this is really the longer term practice, I would say. And really, this is meditation. I know that some of you are familiar with meditation techniques. what I recommend to my clients is the blend of passive and active meditation. Passive meditation is basically sitting in the quietness. It doesn't matter whether you are sitting in the lotus, pose, or you are sitting on the chair, as long as your cord or your spine is in a vertical position towards the universe, and you sit in a quiet location. This is basically the technique that helps you to clear your thoughts, because the moment you will close your eyes and sit in a quiet place, you will realize that you have these thoughts that are traveling through your mind. And the passive meditation helps you to quiet these thoughts. You can observe the thoughts like clouds, without judgment, without trying to seize them or to close them, because the harder you are trying, the more difficult it is, and the more thoughts you will generate. You don't have to be perfect in that, and you don't have to meditate for very long time, because sometimes we have this impression like you are just sitting in front of the wall in a quiet location for half an hour, for an hour, half day, and nothing happens. When you are starting, it's enough if you can sit in meditation for 1 minute, 2 minutes. It is always better than nothing. But what is important is that you come back to this practice every day, and you find the moment in a day where you will be doing this repetitively. So it will become like a habit, like brushing your teeth every time, and you will be missing the meditation. There is an active meditation that the difference between passive and active is that during the active meditation, you are really connecting to your higher self and to the universe. So once the way to do it is to first to practice for some time the passive meditation, so that you have your mindset already quiet and balanced, and then actively create the connection with your higher self, expressing your vision, and finding the path of least resistance by communicating with the universe and communicating with your higher self. Because your higher self really knows everything that is required for you. So you can ask, really, what is your next step? What you should be doing now, especially if you are in difficult emotions, if you are crying, if you are feeling that there is fear, there is anger, but sometimes we have these emotions like hatred or jealousy. We are jealous that the other family has maybe better conditions, survival conditions in COVID, or they have better life conditions, or that woman has maybe better, more thriving online business. We are jealous. And really the way to get out of that is meditation. You can sit down, quiet your mind, and then actively connect with your vision for your future, and ask your future self what she believes you should be doing right now. And just listen. Listen quietly for a few minutes. And the ideas will come. The ideas will be happening either in a form of direct download, so you will hear it. It may happen afterwards. So if during the meditation you will not receive anything, still after the meditation, during the day, you will be receiving the nuggets of information. It will be like, this enlightening moment. And this is absolutely brilliant, because the best ideas are happening to people during that process. So today I was sharing with you really 3 concepts, how you can relate to your negative emotions. The instant way is changing your thoughts and finding the better feeling thoughts, trying to find the positive element of positivity in the situation that looks negatively at the first sight. And remember that universe is sending us the situations, the circumstances that you can bear. You can really hold up to them. And think about it, that life is happening for you, not to you. Maybe they are preparing you for something. This is how I perceive it. So that was the lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is timeline therapy, which is really helpful in case of deeply embedded emotions, which you cannot get rid or transform yourself. And practice number 3 is blend of passive and active meditation that will help you to connect with the universe, with God, with your guides, depending what your belief system is, and receive the very clear direction on your next step. Sometimes also you can receive very clear message that you are protected and you shouldn't be worried. And that's really awesome. So guys, thanks a lot. I think it's enough for today. Let me know how was it for you. Let me know which one of 3 you intend to practice ideally within the next 24 to 48 hours. And if you have more questions, I'm happy to answer them. Kisses for now. Bye bye everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your day.